Hello everyone, this is Jacob Marshfield from Fab UK and Julian Ferrer at the camera. And we are here at the Rosewood Hotel in London for the premiere of the new Paramount Plus TV series, The Agency. Starring Michael Fassbender, it'll stream all over UK from the 30th of November. And now, if you're lucky enough, we're going to have a chat with the cast. What do you feel The Agency allowed you to do differently, like as an actress, like to explore?
Well, I got to speak a lot of Arabic.
Oh, really? You never did that before?
I did it once before, but not like this.
And now you are more fluent in that.
I had an amazing dialect coach, and the studio really invested in allowing you to craft Samia into what felt like a whole person, not just a caricature for the purposes of serving the plot, which is nice.
Yeah.
But I got to work a lot, obviously, with Michael, who is just an absolute. He's a star. He's so talented, and he's kind, and he's generous. And being in scenes with him, I learned so much. I feel like I've grown as an actor. I hope people feel that way when they watch. And Samia was so interesting and intelligent and academic. You know, I got to play this hyper-intelligent woman who is working for a cause that exists beyond herself, and no matter what is at risk for her, she has a very strong moral center. You know, even though there are some things that she's doing that some might say exist outside of that, but I think she has her own moral center to which she very firmly adheres.
What do you feel The Agency allowed you to do different, like as an actor in your role?
Well, there's so many things, really. One thing that comes to mind is I don't have a lot of experience with television, so getting to tell one story but have all these different experiences with so many different really brilliant, talented directors has been a really interesting experience for me, and definitely a learning experience, how to maintain this relationship with the character and allow these people who have different skill sets, different interests, and want to draw different aspects of the character out, to allow that process to happen. It's been a wonderful experience, one that I was honestly sort of nervous about and then have found to be really rewarding. So that's something.
As an actor, this is a beautiful experience because you can learn from the best of the best. Like, these people are working there, are super professional, super magic. That's what you can describe them. They know exactly what to do. So if you come out of Germany to play a part in the show like this, it's kind of a big thing. It's a big deal. I'll be honest with you, it was amazing. It's very well written, and it has a really nice original. And it is very special. It's extraordinary. I haven't seen anything like this before. We started to shoot this a couple of months ago, and now it's the premiere.
It's super quick.
I don't know how they did that. Like, so quick, nobody understands how that works. Magical people.
I have known all these actors, you know, professionally for a long time. I've never met any of them before, and they're all wonderful actors and a lot of fun to be with. Fun in between takes and very interesting to work with. So it's pretty great.
It was a really great experience working with seasoned veteran actors, people who are incredible at their craft. It was, I would say, a growing experience for me, a learning. Yeah, quite surreal.
And what do you feel like The Agency allowed you to do differently as an actress? Like from The Agency allowed you to do differently from your previous roles, like something new that you could explore?
Yes. I feel like I got to be more mature. My previous role that people would have seen me in was quite young and fun, and now people will get to see me in an adult role, and something that is, I would say, a little bit more quite different from who I am than my previous role. She was quite sassy and girly, and the Dozer is quite a stripped back character. I'm quite into glam, no makeup, no anything, no nails. She's like so chilled. Yeah.
So how was it to work with the other actors, and how the agency agency allowed you to do something maybe different from your previous roles?
Yeah, sure. It's definitely a kind of darker character in this than I'm used to playing. A guy that goes to dark places at times, but he has his reasons. Like everyone in the show, it's sort of like this giant game of say chess or poker, really, where people get backed into a corner or backed up against a wall, and they've got to play a card. They've got to play the last card in their pocket, if you kind of see what I mean. Like that's also what makes it really relatable, because sometimes the choices you might not like them, but you get why they had to play them.
Hello.
Hello. Hi there. Sorry.
Hello.
I'm Jacob.
Sarah, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. What can you tell us about your character?
Danny is tricky. She's a tricky girl. She's tricky because she starts off very fresh, very green. She's talented, but she's thrown into a world that has no idea what's really awaiting her. She's constantly challenged, and she's tough on herself, and it's a lonely life.
And is there any way this character enriched allowed you to do something different from your previous roles?
Yeah, I think there's a loneliness aspect that Danny discovers through the season that is particularly, ironically a lot like being an actor, and like what it is to jump in a role and go from job to job and learn the skill that you so much love, but then have to live with.
And from just one last one, from actor to actor, how do you prepare for this character, if there's any? Your own method.
My own method changes every time. Changes on the project and changes. I like working with sense work, so anything that makes me feel and brings me into the world that I think is what I'm gonna jump into, I'd say.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Big red microphone.
Yeah, it's pretty visible.
It's really big.
And so how the agency allowed you to do something different from your previous roles, and how was it to work with all the other actors?
Yeah, this is my first American role.
Yeah.
And I'm quite London as well when I talk, so it was quite a jump. And also, suddenly you're surrounded by actors who are all from the States, so you're like, right, okay, I've got to make sure that I'm on the money. Not just just with the accent, with the research, with the prep and everything like that. But I just had the most wonderful time. I work predominantly with the men in this show. She's quite a fierce character who works with the men, a lot of the time, and she loves it. I enjoyed it so much working with all these brilliant men. I was just saying that I worked with Richard and Jeffrey and John, and I was saying that American Fiction and Past Lives was like my
amazing movie.
Two favourite films of 2023, and then suddenly you're around a table with them and you're breaking down a scene and you're going, what are we doing here, what are we going to do here? And it felt surreal at times, and it was extraordinary, and they're such wonderful collaborative actors who I not only do I know, but I really respect their work as well, and I just loved working with them. It was a boys' club. It was a boys' club for me anyway. Yeah.
But how do you feel about that? Like, it was still like it was a beautiful vibe on set.
Beautiful vibe on set. Obviously she is still a woman, working for the CIA. You do. I was making sure that I was obviously, considering that, and we had an amazing sort of ex-CIA agent who was sort of helping us, if we had any questions. And I asked him, what are the costs for women, working within the CIA, and they are quite huge, so that's always something I had in mind, even though I was working with these men. But yeah, it was fantastic. It was so great. I loved it. We also had a real laugh as well. We laughed a lot, even though the show is it's an espionage sort of thriller, spy thriller. But it really, we had such a great time, and it was really important, I think, that we developed that sort of family dynamic, because the CIA, they are a family.
They are.
So it was important that we really got on, and we did. So we were really lucky. Yeah, it was great.
The Agency, new series streaming November 29th on the Paramount Plus with Showtime plan.